Okay, Venerable Sir, Upasaka, Upasika, and friends, good morning. Okay. Before taking these 8 precepts, and I like to explain. I had explained actually the meaning of taking a refuge to the Buddha for 3 days. I mean, for those who didn't have the chance to listen, I'm not sure whether they will put it online. Otherwise, well, if not, you can look at my website. I guess we can ask them have a copy and put it online. And now I'd like to explain, and I also had explained the first day the Dhamma also. So now I'd like to just take a little time to explain that when we say that take the refuge, to the Sangha. I would say in traditional, usually when we take the refuge to the Sangha, the first thing that in our mind, it's what we call the Sangha as the Noble Sangha. The Noble Sangha refer to mean the Sangha who actually well practice the Buddha's teachings, and then they somehow attain the Saikha sainthood. Particularly in the Buddha's time, you have to understand, to the Buddha, almost like, I usually like to say, kind of like, take the simile almost like in the university. You say that in the university, you say, who is the alumni, kind of who are actually can closely associate with the university, a particular university. Particular universities are those people who actually finished like their study, right? They graduate from the university. And maybe they have a different level of graduation. Maybe let's say they finish the degree and then they finish a master, they finish their master of philosophy, a master or something like that. And then they also finish a PhD and they have a different level. But they at least somehow, spend enough time in the teachings and enough time to know the whole thing as a community, right? So that's what mean by traditional means when you take the refuge to the Sangha. Now, but even though it's like that, but still some people have the image, the thinking, have the strong image, only thinking, when you take the refuge to the Sangha mean the monks and the nuns. But it looks like actually that's really not, what the Buddha trying to say. Because we also know that when we are, the Buddhism certainly believe that everybody are equally can have their attainment. So either you are the male or you're female, or either you're the monk or you're the nuns, but you are actually equally, whenever if you have the correct Dhamma, you can attain the same thing, Maybe now you would put in the American term to say, and I know that in America, at least some history, I'm not very good at American history. So now in the past, so like actually like, some school and some university in the past, they don't want to accept students who are African American and so forth, right? And then only very recently, actually, just maybe about 60 or 50 years only history, and then all the universities become like more like, the racial discrimination, that actually they really have to take any kind of skin people and so forth. But we must understand from the start, the Buddha never believe in any caste, believe in any because of the skin and so forth. We only have to believe that everyone, if they have the correct way, have the opportunity for them, they also can have the attainment equally, right? Not because of gender, not because of skin, not because of anything. It's just because they must well educated and well learned and honestly learn it, and they all can attain. So if the Buddha really have this kind of approach, I will never believe that then the Buddha will say, those who can only teach the Dhamma are only the monks and nuns. Because the monks and nuns is just robes there, and of course we supposedly more sincere in our teachings. But this is, and the lay people actually, they can be very sincere in the teachings and study as well. Now maybe you think I'm a little radical, I don't mind. But I also want to just quote like in the Mahaparinibbana Sutta, Mahabharata Sutta, if everyone study Buddhism know, is at least in the Pali Buddhism, even in Mahayana also, even they have a different sutra, but they also believe the Mahabharata Sutta in Mahayana, also called Mahabharata Sutta, also have some kind of similar depiction. So the Buddha say, monk and the disciples who are accomplished, trained, skilled, learned, knowers of the Dhamma, trained in conformity with the Dhamma, correctly trained and walking in the path of Dhamma, who will pass on what they have gained from their teacher, teach it, declare it, establish it, expound it, analyze it, make it clear, till they shall be able, by means of the Dhamma, to refute fake teaching that will arise and teach Dhamma of wondrous effort. Okay, well, basically means someone who really well learned, well studied, and so forth, and well attend, and then what they learn is all in conformity with the Dhamma, right? Now, I don't need to explain what Dhamma already. I explained last time. When you have to hold something with you and you know how to, correctly learn it and hold it, and that's how you experience a Dhamma. That's one way, right? And then also you can well teach in it, and you even can refute. You somehow very clear what is not correct, what is the correct way, And then here it's said who are these people, the monk and disciples. Now, just after this statement, then the Buddha said the disciple means the nuns and the female disciples, the lay person, the followers, and the lay woman followers, right? So this is very clear actually the Buddha means. So those who actually have this power, have this ability, they learn the Dhamma in the correct way, learn it in the right way, and they also can teach in the correct way, in the right way. In other words, when you say you take the refuge to the Sangha, Sangha literally means a community, and the community has to be included the monks and the nuns. They must have the monks members, and then also must have the lay people. Okay, that's called a Sangha. But I also somehow not totally agree. Sometimes in America, they don't have the monks and nuns, they call them as a Sangha. But that's a little strange. Okay, even though the word Sangha means community, but I think in Buddhism, they certainly must have the monks and nuns. It doesn't mean that teacher has to be a monk and nun. It's almost like if you have a university, you should have those professors who are really doing some research there. Not necessarily this research professors have to teach all the time. They can have other people teaching. You know what I'm saying? So at least they have these monastic people become their advisor, like giving some guidance. Because lay people somehow they might be well confirmed in the study, but if they have these monks as their advisor, they will tell them this is not what the Buddhism trying to. For example, we are not trying to earn money. Because in lay people, of course, somehow because of the social structure, from the very beginning you must earn money, otherwise you cannot buy a house, buy a car, do this and that. Somehow, little bit maybe it can be, you will be, forget. The mission is more important than the money, you know what I'm saying? But for the monk and the nun, supposedly, of course, now in modern day not necessarily true, but supposedly the monks and nuns, not about money is important, the mission is the important thing, right? Because imagine in the old days, even now, so supposedly the monks are not going to have earning money as their priority. Definitely I remember when I used to taught in Taiwan, one time when I see one of my Abhidhamma master in Burma, when I was there, I went to see him. So of course he was very happy, and he had a very big actually Buddhist college there. So, and then he introduced me to his monk brother. His monk brother saw me very happy because in those days, like 20 years, almost 18 years back. So then if they see someone who is not like the Chinese and who know Pali and so forth, of course he's very happy. And he asked me, so I was told that you're teaching in Taiwan. I said, yes. So when you teach in Taiwan, do you get money? I say, yeah, because in Taiwan, even though I don't have like a fixed salary, but they pay me hourly. He said, you're very bad. And I defend myself. I say, Pandey, I have to. If I don't take it, they will get very angry. Then they say they are very bad. Okay. I just want to say, actually, this is certainly, and if you want to follow the tradition, the Buddhist culture, well, I don't think it's because of money is a thing. It's more like he was worried that I teach, not because I want to teach, sincerely about the teaching. I teach because I just want to get the money, you know what I'm saying? And then they also think that when the people want to give you money to teach, it means he think that, he said, that's a Buddhist college? I said, yes, but how can a Buddhist college want to pay you a monk, you know? But I say, the society has changed, and there is very different now. You cannot, anyway, that's another thing I'm not going to speak too much, but I want to say, I still believe that, of course, whether or not, as a layperson, had to support a monastic member, because supposing the monastic member, what is the main thing is their mission, you know? Like whatever difficulty they had to face, their mission is to propagate the teachings, you know, giving them the right, correct view and teach them how to practice. That's the one. And of course, but as I say, when we say take the refuge to the Sangha, but that is not going to exclude the lay people, but lay people also can take either the lay woman or lay man, right? But however, what we call a really a Sangha has to be at least must have the monastic, either the monastic monks or monastic nun to be guiding the Sangha. You know, at least the mission should be kept well. You know, mission should be kept well. The mission statement, you could say, should be kept well by that. And okay, I think I don't want to speak too much now. I like to just say something about 8 precepts. I maybe almost have my job done. So this is how we understand when we take the refuge to the Buddha. I'm sure that now you have better, well-rounded understanding what the Buddha could mean to everyone. And then take the refuge to the Dhamma. And the last, and I also just explain take the refuge to the Sangha. I just explain what I think the Sangha should be. And then you have this 8 precept here, so that consists something is very similar to the 5 precepts, except the number 3 one, the Abramacharya, which if you take the 5 precepts, is the Kamesu Michachara. Okay, the main difference between the number 3 after 5 precepts and then the 8 precept is, one is that sexuality is allowed, but with your partners and your you know, somebody you want to stay with. That is when you're taking the 5 precept. When you take the 3 precept, the 8 precept on the 3rd one, when you say that Abramacharya, it's actually referred to that any sexual activity is not advisable. It's advisable not to do it, you know. And the first one is, of course, is especially when you're in a monastery now, so you have your time, you don't have to take care of your house or your property. Mostly, I mean, you definitely can much easier to observe much better on the first one that you're observing that refrain from killing, okay? And the second, of course, is refrain from stealing, okay? Taking anything is not given. And then the third one I just explained, and the fourth one, I would take it in another way. It means you would take refrain from not telling lie, but I mean that it's very important that especially when you have Q&A, whatever is that you think that is trouble in your mind, you just don't want to tell lie, you just really speak it out, it's fine, right? Yeah. Since that is one of the example mean by what you just not to tell lie. And the fifth one actually literally mean the Sura Meraya Majjapama Tatthana. Generally mean there's a different kind of the material that will that kind of they blew it, and so that it content of alcohol, they will intoxicate your mind, so that you will be cannot really, you become almost like depend on it, and you cannot really have your own control of your mind. That's what we call heedlessly. That makes you become heedless. And but maybe nowadays it does include some of the what you call, I don't know, like marijuana or pills. There was a time when I hear there's one of the young guy, very interesting. I think there was maybe the second time I teach meditation here, when I was here. And the young guy was very interesting. He said, "Can I just meet you in privately?" I said, "Yes, of course." So he met me in privately. He told me what kind of pill he took. He had different kind of pill. He was kind of asking me the consultation. When I'm doing this meditation, what kind of pill is best for best for him? I was like, I had to pretend I'm very calm. I say, then they tell me, what is this pill for? What is the pill for? Of course, he introduced me, when you eat this pill, I forgot the name, so many names of the, I never learned anything of that. And I don't, and he said, when you eat this pill, you have this kind of, and when you add that, you feel really relaxed and what. I said, wow. Of course, then I told him, no, when you're doing a meditation, at least in a monastery, it looks like you have to observe not to take anything that intoxicate your mind. This looks like intoxication. He said, really? I thought this is very very effective, very helpful for your meditation. Well, luckily I was not in Asia, but in Asia, really, what? But I have to stay very calm. This is how I learned in America. I love it anyway. But anyway, he was really nice later on. He really said he won't take it. So it looks like he didn't take it. Even up to the time, then after he finished his meditation, then he said, I want to become a monk. But I'm not joking. Actually, he did. No, he did mean at the end, there's something funny. He really pursued his family, his parents. His parents, one is a Catholic, one is a Christian. I mean, that means, I forgot which side, his father's side is Catholic or his mother's side is Catholic. Anyway, so he really took a few months to pursue his parents. Say he want to stay in the monastery, he want to just do meditate, he want to get enlightenment, something like that. Of course, his family was against him, but somehow he really, in America, so he's an adult already, some 20-something. He really did it, and at least he really convinced. And then he drove the car here, and with a big whole lot of the thing, the car full of the stuff, like almost like he's going to change what you call, move his stuff. But anyway, because that time when I was driving actually some other place, I can remember, and then I was informed by the prior, one of the nun, very early time, the nun, the prior told me that, he said, Abbot, you know that that guy is here. I say, really? He said he would be arrived at night, But anyway, but when he arrived, somehow the nun say, you stay here. He so asked him to stay under the Buddha hall. This is how you're going to sleep. He said, no, I don't want to stay here. I want to stay with the monk where they live. He said, no, the Abbot say you stay here. So he got scared, and he drove the car back. That was long ago. But anyway, it was a very funny thing. Anyway, so I guess in the modern sense, you must understand that anything that when you take, not only because in those days might be, the drug is not that so sophisticated, but now it's not. So that also is something that you need to refrain from taking those that will mix your mind, really. You cannot control your mind, kind of like, And of course, number 6 one, I did say that day. So if you observe, somebody asked me also last time, say, do you have fasting in Buddhism? Just actually a year ago, actually, I was invited to write an article about fasting in Buddhism. So, and actually that writing is for the Muslim because they have the Ramadan, right? And then they have the fasting. So they want to know how the Buddhists think about fasting. And actually the way I didn't say we don't have, but I would say supposedly actually the monk fasts all every day that they don't eat after 12 o'clock, supposedly, you know. But when you observe these 8 precepts, so you don't, you kind of like, you know, if you can, unless you have health reason or whatever other reason. So, but you do allow to eat if you are not ill or you have some physical reason, so that you don't take after 12. And the number 7 and the number 8 actually, I guess, is more about, you know, usually why you need to observe the number 7 as like refrain from dancing, singing, music, seeing, show, and so forth. You know, putting a garland and perfume and this, and or sleep or under the bed, the big, or like a very comfortable bed, and sit in a very comfortable, like, you know, so sofa or place, because it's like that because you really wanted to be in a spirituality. You must really have a very common sense. Is you don't rely any sensual instigation for you to make you like happy, right? You, otherwise mean you don't want to see something makes you like. You don't want to hear the music all the time makes you dancing and happy. You don't want to just like, you know, rely on this thing. You don't want to rely on, like, you know, normally when you feel tired. No, you want to sit on the very comfortable sofa. You want to then that you can sleep, or because you have a very good bed, you sleep and then you feel, you know, attached to a bed, or you want to sleep longer, or maybe because you have a very comfortable bed. I mean, especially, of course, observing this mostly as a lay person, right? And then you start to think something else like that. So when you have this limit thing, kind of limit your, maybe some people find, even people told me in the past, why we couldn't meditate sitting like a massage, you know, chair. I mean, how can you do meditation? I mean, yes, you could do meditation in a way, you still can meditate in a massage chair, yes. But if you are here, it's going to do meditation like 7 days, everybody have a massage chair. Do you think you really can meditate? Huh? Yeah, like that. That's the reason why the number 7, number 8 here, I would say it's because when enough is enough, you know. So you just have to learn not to rely on listen to the music, on seeing entertainment to make you happy. But since you're here, just want to practice, or you could kind of say, since you're here, just want to, how to learn how to focus, or how to let your mind have the correct way to let your mind be purified, right? So then you don't need any external factors to make you, or sometimes can be distract you too, right? Okay, let us just take the 8 precepts, and then we have a break, and we come back just for the instruction of the next meditation. That is the empathetic joy. Yeah, please kneel down if you can. Yeah.
Aham Bante Tisalanena Saha Atanga Samanang Gatang Upasata Silam Dhammam Yachami Anugahang Katwa Silam De Tame Bante Dudiyampi Aham Bante Tisalanena Saha Atanga Samanang Gatang Upasatang Silam Dhammam Yachami Anugahang Katwa Silam De Tame Bante Tatiyampi Aham Bante Tisalanena Saha Atanga Samanang Gatam อุปสัทธาสีลัมตัมมัมยาชามิอนุกหังคตวาสีลังเดธเมปันเตนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะ
พุทธังสารนังกัจฉามิธัมมังสารนังกัจฉามิสังฆังสารนังกัจฉามิทุติยัมปิพุทธังสารนังกัจฉามิทุติยัมปิธัมมังสารนังกัจฉามิทุติยัมปิสังฆังสารนังกัจฉามิตติยัมปิพุทธังสารนังกัจฉามิตติยัมปิธัมมังสารนังกัจฉามิตติยัมปิสังฆังสารนังกัจฉามิติสรณังกัมนังสัมปุณนังปานาติปาตาเวรมณีสิกขาปดังสมาธิยามิปฏินนาทานาเวรมณีสิกขาปดังสมาธิยามิอปรมาจาริยาเวรมณีสิกขาปดังสมาธิยามิมุสาวาทาเวรมณีสิกขาปดังสมาธิยามิสุราเมรยมัจเจปมาตัฏฐานาเวรมณีสิกขาปดังสมาธิยามิวิคาลโภชนาเวรมณีสิกขาปดังสมาธิยามิน นัจจกิตวาติตวิสุขตัสสนามาลกันทาวิเลปานธารณามันดนาวิปุสสนัตถานาเวรมณีสิกขาปดังสมาธิยามิอุจจาสยนามาหาสยนาเวรมณีสิกขาปดังสมาธิยามิติสรเนนะสหัตถกังสมนากตังอุปโปสัตถสีลังสาธุคังกัตตวาธัมมังอัปปมาเดนะสัมปาเดเธอ Okay. Yeah, just prostrate 3 times, be seated. Yeah.